James Carter had spent nearly 6 years building a quiet reputation at Hayes Construction Group in Dallas, Texas. He wasn't the loudest person in the office, and he never tried to impress executives with expensive suits or unnecessary compliments. As a single father raising his 8-year-old son, Noah, James had learned to focus on what truly mattered, doing his job well and getting home on time. Every morning, James prepared Noah's breakfast, checked his homework, and drove him to school before heading to the company's downtown office. His days were usually packed with meetings, project reports, contractor calls, and unexpected emergencies. James had become the person everyone called when something went wrong. When a major construction project nearly exceeded its budget, James found a supplier error that saved the company hundreds of thousands of dollars. When another project fell behind schedule, he reorganized the entire timeline and helped the team finish ahead of deadline. His old manager appreciated him. His coworkers trusted him. But everything changed when Linda Parker became department manager. Linda was ambitious and wanted to make herself look powerful in front of senior leadership. She quickly noticed that James didn't flatter her or agree with everything she said. During meetings, James would politely challenge unrealistic deadlines or point out financial risks. Linda took it personally. One Monday morning, she called him into her office. James closed the door. James sat down. Linda opened a performance report. "Your attitude has become a problem." James looked surprised. "My attitude? You question too many decisions." "I question decisions when I think they could hurt the project." Linda leaned back. "That's not your job." James remained calm. "My job is to protect the project." Linda's expression hardened. "You need to remember who your manager is." James nodded. "I know." The conversation ended, but Linda's frustration continued growing. 3 days later, the company's largest commercial project faced a serious contract issue. A supplier had changed pricing terms without informing the company, potentially creating a massive financial loss. James discovered the problem before the contract was finalized. He immediately contacted the legal department and negotiated a solution. The company avoided losing nearly $2 million. Robert Hayes, the CEO, personally sent James a message thanking him. "Excellent work, you saved us again." James smiled at the message and returned to work. Linda saw it instead of being impressed. She became even more determined to remove him. On Friday afternoon, she called James into her office. "I've made my decision." James looked at her. "What decision?" Linda slid a folder across the desk. "Your employment is terminated." James opened the folder. He knew the accusations were false. Still, he didn't argue. He slowly closed the folder. "May I ask why?" Linda smiled. "You don't fit the direction I'm taking this department." James stood, understood. He picked up his belongings. Linda watched him leave with a satisfied expression. She believed she had finally won. What she didn't know was that Robert Hayes had just received the news, and he was already walking toward her office. Robert Hayes entered Linda Parker's office before she had even finished celebrating James's termination. The CEO carried a tablet in one hand and looked unusually serious. Linda quickly stood. "Robert, I was just handling a personal issue." Robert looked at her. "Who did you terminate?" Linda hesitated. "James Carter." Robert's expression changed immediately. "Who let him go?" "I did." Robert placed the tablet on her desk. "On what grounds?" Linda began explaining that James had a negative attitude, questioned management decisions, and wasn't fitting into her department. Robert listened without interrupting. Then he opened the performance reports. James saved the Dallas Central project from a $2 million loss. This week, Linda said nothing. He also increased completion efficiency by 18% last quarter. Silence. "And he has the highest client satisfaction rating in your entire department." Linda looked uncomfortable. "I didn't know about all of that." Robert stared at her. "You didn't know because you never bothered to look." Linda tried to defend herself. "I was trying to establish authority." Robert shook his head. "Authority isn't about firing people who disagree with you." He picked up James's termination letter. "You dismissed one of the most valuable employees in this company without consulting HR or senior leadership." Linda's confidence disappeared. "Robert, please. I can fix this." "No." He handed her a second document. "You're terminated." Linda stared at the paper. "You're firing me, yes." She lowered her voice. "Because of James." Robert shook his head. "Because you abused your position." Meanwhile, James was already in the parking garage. He sat inside his truck for several minutes, looking at the termination papers. He wasn't angry. He was disappointed. After 6 years, he had hoped his work would speak for itself. His phone rang. Robert James answered. "Hello, James." "This is Robert James' side." "Yes, sir." "I just learned what happened." James didn't respond. "You were unfairly terminated." "That's okay, no." "It isn't," Robert paused. "I've dismissed Linda." James was stunned. "You fired her, yes. And I want you back." James looked through the windshield. "Why?" "Because you're exactly the kind of leader this company needs." James hesitated. "I don't want special treatment." "I'm not offering special treatment." Robert smiled. "I'm offering you the position of Regional Operations Director." James was silent. It was a promotion. More responsibility, more money. But there was something else. Flexible hours. Robert knew James was a father. "You'll have more control over your schedule." He said, "I know Noah comes first." James smiled. "That matters." "I know the following Monday." James returned to the office. Employees greeted him warmly. Robert introduced him to the department as the new Regional Operations Director. James didn't celebrate Linda's downfall. Instead, he told the team, "I'm not here to control you. I'm here to help you succeed." Later that evening, James drove home and found Noah waiting at the door. "How was work, Dad?" James smiled. "Interesting." Noah looked curious. "Did you get fired?" James laughed. Technically, Noah's eyes widened. "But I got a better job." Noah hugged him. James realized something important that night. Sometimes losing a position wasn't the end of the road. Sometimes it was simply the moment life forced you to walk towards something better.